and welcome to this new video tutorial of multi-supplier wholesale extension for the Magento 2 platform store. And in today's video tutorial, we'll be seeing how the store owners would be able to extend the capabilities of a marketplace store by adding a wholesaler to it. And this wholesaler that has been added can allow the sellers to quote for their desired products. So basically, it's a B2B model based extension that helps in the interaction of two business owners on a single platform. Also, it gives the facility to the sellers to send the required code to the wholesaler exclusively. On the other hand, the wholesalers can manage these quotations, and the wholesalers can specify the price rule as per their requirement and associate them with the respective products. Apart from that, the wholesalers can send a reminder mail to the customer whose leads are pending. And lastly, now let's go to the web store front end and let's see how this particular plugin works. And we'll be checking the workflow at the seller end, on the wholesalers, and from the admin backend panel as well. So first of all, we'll be creating a new wholesaler, what we say as account, and then we'll show you the rest of the functionalities as well. So let's get ahead and let's go to the web store front end now. So right now I'm at the Magento 2 web store at the front end, and now comes the question that how to become a wholesaler initially. So on the home page of your web store, and within the what we say as the footer, you'll find this link that's create a wholesaler account. So the customers who want to create a wholesaler account can basically open that up. They can also tap it to bring up the registration page. Otherwise, they can open this particular link in another window. And here you can see that now we can create a new wholesaler account by entering the first name, last name, the wholesaler title, description, the complete address of the wholesaler. Apart from that, we can also set up the sign-in information for the wholesaler, like the username, email, password, confirm password. And before creating an account, the wholesaler user would have to basically check this particular privacy policy, and then they can tap here on the create an account button to create a wholesaler account within your web store itself. So I've already created one wholesaler. So let me go ahead. But before that, let's try and create our. So now I'll be entering the details for the wholesaler, and then we'll be creating this particular wholesaler account. And for that, let me enter the data here, like the personal information, the wholesaler's address information, the sign-in information. So so I've entered the details for the wholesaler account here, as you can see. And you can see that in real time it's checking whether the username is available or not. So now we'll just check this particular wholesaler privacy policy, and the wholesaler can now open this particular link for the privacy policy to check the same. And lastly, the wholesaler can tap here on the create an account button, and in a few seconds the new wholesaler account would be created. So here you can see that the account has been created successfully. And now the email address that the wholesaler had entered here, that was the Lee, the login credentials would be sent out to that particular email address for the wholesaler, and those can then be used by the wholesaler to log into his account panel. So after the creation of the wholesaler, the admin needs to approve their account, and for that the admin needs to log into his backend panel for his web store, and thereafter just navigate through wholesale manager and then users. Let me open that up in another window. So here we have two sub options, users and the product list. So to approve the wholesalers, we'll just go to the users section, and from here the admin can add a new wholesaler as well if required. Apart from that, you can see the complete list of the wholesalers there. So here you can see that the wholesale title, B2B wholesaler, email Lee, and it's active right now. So we have set it as automatic approval, so that's why it's active, otherwise it would be not be active there. So on the wholesale user information for the Jackley, here you can see that the account is right now active. Otherwise, if you're disabled auto approval, then it would be inactive. Then you have to make it as active, and then tap here on the save user to save the particular wholesaler and to approve his account. So that was the approval of the wholesalers. Now let's see the wholesaler dashboard. For that, the admin needs to sign out. So basically, the email address wherein the username and the password are sent out to the wholesalers after creating their account, those credentials would then be used here. So the wholesaler can log into the backend panel to set up the different what we say as to accomplish various tasks. So I'll just show you that. So here I'm logging into the admin backend panel for the wholesaler. So the wholesaler would log into the backend panel, as you can see right now. And on the left hand side, under the wholesale manager, we have units, price rules, product quotations, leads, and the product list. To add a new unit, you just need to tap on the add new unit button, and that will bring up the section to create a new unit. So let me open this in another window, and let me tap here on the add new unit. Apart from that, you can also edit any of the units that you have created. And to add a new unit, just set up the unit name, the sort order, and whether it's enabled or disabled for use. And therefore these units can be as per the products within the store, and these units are then used for the products while we are creating the price rules for the products. At that time, these units are being used. So let's go back, and thereafter you can see that we have the price rules. Let me open that up in another window, and let's see what is there under that particular section. So the wholesaler from the admin backend panel can add the price rules, and that can be done by tapping here on the add price rule. Apart from that, he can see the respective profile names or the price rules that he has created, and he can edit them under the actions column by tapping here on the edit link. Apart from that, for all of these price rules, the wholesale seller can basically delete, enable, or disable them as well. So let's check the add price rule, and let's see how we can do that. So but before that, let me open the edit link, edit page for the price rule itself. So here I am, and you can see the price rule information is there, and the properties like the rule name, the status, whether it's enabled or disabled. And here you can see that we have the section that's the manage units, and from here the wholesaler can set up the units as well, and he can choose the unit of quantity as kgs, pounds, or whatever you have created. You can set up the quantity and the price per quantity as well. And to add more, you can tap here on the add option, and to delete, you can tap here on the delete button. So that's how you can create the price rules by the wholesaler from the admin backend panel with his own credentials for login. And to create a new price rule, let me show you how we can do that. So I'll just tap here on the back button, and let's tap on the add price rule button once again. So here we will be setting up the properties for the new rule names, and for the rule name, the name that you specify for the rule name could be specified here basically, and that would represent the rule set. You can choose the status as enabled or disabled. So basically the rule must be set to enable to make the rule visible to the sellers. Then here we can also manage the units. The units created previously can be selected here in accordance to which the rules can then be created. Apart from that, the wholesaler needs to specify the quantity and the price per quantity. So if we tap here in the add option, we can choose the unit, we can set up the quantity and set the price per quantity there, and thereafter tap here on the save price rules to create a new price rule. Now let's go to the product quotations, and before checking the product quotation, uh, the wholesaler needs to go to the product list, and that list is basically displays those products to which the price rules have been attached. Apart from that, under the product list, the wholesalers can click on the add new product to attach the products to the price rules. So for that, I'll just go to the product list first, and then we'll come back to the product quotation and the leads thereafter. So here we are on the wholesaler product list, and here we have all the products there. And here you can see the maximum quote quantity and the minimum one, production capacity, duration, status, approval, wholesaler username, wholesaler emails, and the action column for editing as well. To add a new, we'll just tap here on the add new product, and then the wholesaler will be setting up the minimum and the maximum quote quantity for the products. And under the product capacity, the product basically here the production capacity of the product is specified, and along with the duration of time, it can be as per day, week, or monthly as required. So you can choose them up from this section, and the price rules that you have created would be visible here, and you can choose any of the price rules to add the product rules. And this then you need to enable the status for this particular product rule, and below that you can assign the rules to the products, so you can choose any of the products, and to apply you can just tap here on the save button, and the particular add product rule would be applied to the selected product. So that's how the wholesaler can set this up under the product list, the product rules, and can attach the product rules to the products. And after that, when you tap here on the save, uh, the product list basically needs to be approved by the admin. So for that, we can go and we can log into the marketplace admin, and let me show you how we can approve the product list for the seller there. So we'll go to the wholesale manager, and here we can tap on the product list, and here you can see the products being displayed, and from the actions drop down, the admin can approve or reject any of the wholesaler products that have been provided. And under the actions column, here you can see reject link is there. So let me open, let's see what option are there, and the rest of the products of the wholesalers are also visible here. So on the rejection link, so the status for this particular just duffel bag is right now under the actions column. You can see that now we can approve this, and we had basically tapped here on the reject button to reject that particular product for the wholesaler. Now to approve, you can just tap here on the approve link, and the page would refresh and would basically enable this or approve this particular product of the wholesaler. So you can see now it's basically enabled. And now let's go to the seller front, marketplace vendors here, sorry, the vendors here. So for that, what I'll be doing is basically the sellers would now be able to easily quote for the products that require the reordering. So the sellers can log in and navigate to the wholesale section, and within the wholesale section, the sellers would be able to choose the wholesale products, and can set up the wholesale quotations as well. So for that, let me take you to the storefront, and we'll log in as a store seller. So I'll be entering my username password for my seller account. Similarly, the wholesalers can also log in at the front end that we have already shown you. So now let me go to my account section, and on the side panel here we'll be able to see the wholesale, and under that we have the wholesale product and the quotations, right? So let's open the wholesale product section, And within this particular section, that's the wholesale products. Here you can see a complete list of wholesale products along with their details like the name, wholesalers info, and the action column as well. And here you can see that the name of the product and the image of the product are under the product name, long image, and the product. And here we have the product type as simple. Then we have the wholesaler information, uh, and basically the wholesaler in under the wholesaler info we have the name of the wholesaler. So basically the list of the name of the wholesalers is visible, and within these wholesalers the seller would be able to uh, quote the products to any of the wholesalers there. So he can basically view the wholesalers as well, and to place a quote. And the seller would also be able to compare the quote rules of the multiple wholesalers. So I'll just open it in another window. So here the seller can see the wholesale information, and can choose amongst the different wholesalers for that particular product so as to place the quote for the product. But before that, he needs to check the different pricing for the what we say as uh, the price quotes basically. So he needs to compare them up, and then he can place the quote there. So here we are on the wholesaler list of the product itself, and here you can see the details are there. So the wholesaler name is Jane Smith, the minimum quote quantity is 1, the maximum is 60, and the production capacity is 3 per day. And under the actions column, here you can tap on the quotation to set up the quantity of the product that you want. Then you can set up the price per item and a message after that, and then just tap here on the submit button to ask the quotation to the respective wholesaler. And to check the price list of this particular product, you can tap here on the price list, and then you can check the price. That's for example like $2, the unit is box, the quantity is 1, and the text for the same. Now, and using this price list, basically it's meant for the sellers to propose the quote as per the price rules that are displayed here, and then accordingly he can tap here on the quotation to set up the quotation for that particular product itself. And after creating the quotation, the seller can go to the wholesale quotation section. Let me open that up in other window. And basically here the seller can view the product quotation along with the details as well. So you can see that we have the product quotations for the wholesale along with the product name, the quantity that we have sent out for the quote, the quoted price, and the status for all. So here we can see that one of them is approved, rest of them are pending. And from here also we can edit the particular wholesale product quotation that the seller has created, and that brings up the edit code section. And from here you can enter the message so as to chat with the wholesaler itself, and then tap here on the send button as per your own requirement there. Now the seller can basically directly contact the wholesaler using the chat here. And basically it helps in communication on the message about the respective code that the seller has applied for. So after the sellers have created the wholesale quotation, now the wholesaler would be able to log into his admin backend panel, and he'll be going to his product quotation section where he'll be basically being checking out the product quotations that have been sent out for his particular products. So we'll log into the backend panel for the wholesaler by entering his username and the password. And here you can see that we have the wholesale manager. We have already gone through the units and the price rules and the product list as well. Now let's go to the products quotation, and let's see what different options are there. So basically here under the product quotation, the whenever the seller raises the quote for the products, the wholesaler can view the products within this particular section here, and the wholesaler can basically edit to change the status of the quotation, or can communicate back with the with the seller about the quote. So for example, here we are on the product quotation page, and here you can see that we have the just duffel bag and it's approved right now. Similarly, we have this other product as well. So if I tap here on the edit link, that brings up the edit page for the product quotation. And so here you can see that from here we can manage the quote information like the quote manager, quote conversations, and the seller details. So here we can edit the quotes as well, and we can set up the status as approved, declined, as required, and we can send the message back to the seller who had basically sent this particular product quote. So I've already shown you how the sellers can send the chat message to the respective wholesaler for the product itself. And then let's go to the quote conversations, and here are the messages. So here you'll find all of those messages that have been exchanged within the store itself between the wholesaler and the seller. And the wholesaler can also check the seller details like his default shipping address that is there. And then after making changes, you can tap here on the update quote button. Now let's see the leads here for the wholesale manager. So let's see how it works there. So here under the leads, the wholesalers can see the product leads that are there. So here we are having the lead list, as you can see, and from here the wholesaler can tap here on the actions column, and here the wholesaler can see the lead details like the name, the email, the product for which it has the quotation has been sent out, how many times it has been waived, and along with the date and time, and the recent waive details as well, as you can see here. And from here the wholesaler can tap here on the send mail button, and so basically tapping here on the send mail can it basically allows the wholesalers to send the details of the particular leads to themselves on their own email address, and they can basically write the details of the lead, that is the quotation that has been sent by the seller within the mail body. And once the quote is approved, the seller can accomplish the rest of the process manually. Now let me log out of the backend that was logged in using the wholesaler account details. Now we'll be logging in as the store admin, and we'll see what different configuration settings are there for this particular plugin. So after login, we'll navigate through stores and then configuration, and here under the Webkul block we'll go to the marketplace wholesale submenu option, and that will bring up the configuration settings for the same. And here we have the general settings, the privacy policy, and the wholesale transactional emails. So we also have added the user guide and the link to the live demo of this particular plugin. So for more information on the wholesale transaction emails, you can check the user guide itself. And then we have the privacy policy. So here you can set up the privacy policy heading and the policy description itself. And under the general settings, you can enable this functionality by choosing enable, otherwise to disable, just choose disable. Then you can set up the name. So here basically the admin can specify the name of the marketplace store or the organization name. Then the admin needs to enter the mail ID, which would then be used for the wholesalers, and then the admin can communicate to the wholesalers using the same. Then we have whether you want to make the approval manually. So here you can see that we have the wholesaler approval required. So if the approval is required, you can choose as yes. Then the admin needs to manually approve the wholesaler from the backend panel, and by navigating through wholesale manager users and then tapping on the edit link for the user info and then choosing the approval as yes. Otherwise, to disable it and to automatically approve, just choose no. Then we have the wholesale product approval required, whether the wholesaler products that are there need any approval. If you choose yes, then manually it needs to be done. Otherwise, choose no to make the approval automatic. And then just tap here in the save configuration button to save the initial configurations for the wholesale manager plugin that's here. So that was much about the multi-supplier wholesale extension for the Magento 2 platform, and I hope it helped you out in understanding the flow as well. If you have any questions, queries, suggestions, or requirements, then you can always get back to us at support@webkul.com, or you may raise a ticket at webkul.ubdesk.com. And do check the user guide that I've attached within the description below for a bit better understanding. And thanks for watching this particular video, and have a great day ahead.